Here we go. Going live. Let's go ahead and get this out on, get it out on Twitter. Oh my goodness! And I forgot to save some items on Twitter. Hey, Pugnacious, how's it going, man? Trying to get this out on Twitter here, but I forgot that I went through and all the items on my clipboard I ended up accidentally deleting. So I had one saved with all the regulars on it to get the word out. So let's go ahead and see who all we can get in here real fast. How did you end up doing in the market today? Get Trapper, Simon, Devil's Advocate. Doing good, trying to order a dresser for my newly adopted sons. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, congratulations on adopting. Sam. Why am I missing? Oh, there's Sambo. Was a trillionaire for a little while. Yeah, I saw that glitch. That was absolutely insane. It looked like, though, because I'd seen a lot of other people talking about it, and it looks like they end up, when the glitch went through, and hey, Simon, how's it going, man? When the glitch went through, they actually jumped on, and it looked like most of the trust wallets, they shut those down in order to keep people from actually trading those away, because there's no way they could have, they would have tracked down all that currency exchange. So yeah, that was quite insane. Trapper, Simon, Devil's Advocate. I'm trying to think who else is right. Pugnacious is already here. Oh, Simon, I had your name on here. Yeah, Simon. I don't know if you wanted to jump on Twitter and let the regular people know. I did share the stream to Twitter, but I had everyone's names pre-saved. Ex-wife sign. Oh yeah, that's it's I've never done any adopting or anything like that myself. I've two sons myself. They're both adults now. I am that old to where both my kids are adults now. But to certainly to have a child know that somebody's there for you. Somebody wants you. You are loved. That whatever the situation behind it was, it's great for the child to feel that that wanted acceptance. Hey Simon, thanks for sharing on Twitter. Man, this bounce today was just so wonderful. It was I actually wanted to jump on. Yesterday did kind of a wrap up, kind of a do your homework type deal on ways to hunt down stocks that you can potentially do option trading on. And just when the market's down, when it's not a play, when your main play is not when you want to play, just ways for scouting out other plays. But I wanted to actually send a special shout out to all the paper handlers that had that massive sell-off. A lot of paper handlers jumped out of the stock. And looking at the, I know TMI posted the Ortex numbers up on Twitter, and I had a look at his numbers real quick, and there was an additional 5 million shares that were shorted today. So in combination, the paper handlers helped the price go down, the shorters helped the price go down, and looking at this early run up, I mean, look at how much green we had there. That was such a gorgeous bounce. I was so happy to see, the stock price start to run. We broke out, I was afraid of the breakthrough 20 and the run down to 1816. I was afraid of those myself, that it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to change, my play. My play was that I'm going to continue to hold. They're not going to shake me off. It can go down to $10. It can go down to $5. They're not going to shake me on this. They're just going to give me more opportunities to buy. And they push us down into the 10 range, and that's when I start looking at looking at long calls. 6 months out, great price on them, have forever for the price to run up, and the first good bounce we have, they would start printing. So I don't put much emphasis on calls on the channel, but with how far we've been driven down, if they drove us into that 10 mark, that would be when I'd be looking to start buying calls, because the upside potential is just so insane that they're like 1,000 times better than a lottery ticket at that point. Especially if you get some of those call options that you can buy them, where you can buy calls for $5 and $10 and they're forever away from you. So yeah, those are just I would start getting into calls if they drove us down that range. It looks like we have a little bit of aftermarket pullback. Let me get a live look here, because I know I've noticed that on my Webull on my desktop, it doesn't give me everything all the way through. And even looking at it right now, the prices are fairly close in reference to each other, but I still don't think I'm getting the full data on it. That's I don't know if I would have to pay for whatever Webull's premium services or not. But yeah, it certainly was a great day in the market. We had a lot of recovery, and one thing that I noticed was, unfortunately, I can't bring it up on here really well. It would be hard to see if I did. But for a while there, the major indices, the IWM, the SPY, and the Qs, they all started to pull back, and AMC actually held its own against that pullback. So if we look, especially looking at the run up from 1 to, we'll call it 130, if we jump over to SPY, it wasn't even, it's not even close. The SPY was just getting pushed down all day. We're still on the 1 minute here. We go to 1. Was that 12 to 130? In this range right here, the SPY was flat. Now the SPY did start to run up towards the end of the day and in aftermarket hours. But if we compare it to AMC had a huge run up to start the day while the major indices were all falling. So it really was a tale of two markets. While the rest of the market was going down, the SPY AMC caught a whole bunch of buying pressure stepping in, and a lot of that is looking at yesterday, how much of a sell-off we had. Looking at the Ortex numbers that TMI put out there, the Ortex numbers showed that there was an additional 5 million short shares, and we're back up around that 19 to 20% short interest rate. I actually screenshotted it. I didn't get a chance to go over any good numbers on Claystream, but looking at it, the short interest change, it went up by 5.21% to 19.72 with over 100 million shares shorted right now. These are estimates, of course, and everybody always freaks out when all of a sudden there's a huge swing in the Ortex numbers, and all it is a recalibration, but people think that, oh my god, a ton of shares have covered. No, it's, sometimes they overcalculate on how much movement really is going on. But we do have, looking at it, the borrowed change is up an additional 5.36 million. So that's definitely huge for us. Looking at how far the price had gotten driven down and the fact that we bounced and recovered that good. And to see, we have a current utilization. Is this listed on here? No, unfortunately, what I got from TMI did not have the actual utilization. Hey, wrestler, how's it going, man? But yeah, today was just a huge swing. It was a lot of green that, psychologically, Ape Nation really needed a good green day like this. Looking at just how bad it had been, the past 3 weeks. This goes more than just a bad couple days. For the past 3 weeks, the entire market has just been getting beat on unmercifully. And to see AMC, really buck the trend. Looking at, we looked at the SPY there for a second. We'll go ahead and pull up the three major indices. Oh, I missed a Q. I'm Q-less. So yeah, same thing. The Qs, which is your tech-heavy sector, it's the Nasdaq 100 cover. Nasdaq 100. These are more of your tech stocks. And looking at the Russell 2000, the Russell downward trend throughout the day and caught a little bit of support there towards the end of the day. So yeah, with the three major indices all having issues today and seeing AMC, and if you look at the Russell, they started the day with that same trend, and this was AMCG or GameStop wouldn't be on there because GameStop is actually on the S&P 400. But looking at how AMC had the run up and the Russell had a run up also. They fell off hard, which, as soon as they lost, I think they might have just lost touch with where AMC was moving to, and the rest, the same way the rest of the market went down, I think the rest of the Russell 2000 went down, and AMC just kind of left it behind. Which, AMC is the strongest weight in the Russell 2000. It is the largest position. So if the rest of the Russell gets pulled down, in matching with what the S&P 500 is doing and what the Nasdaq's doing, yeah, it's easy for them to get left behind as AMC runs up. So did we have any other trillionaires today from the glitch we had on cryptocurrencies? I just want to pull up the option chain here and have a look. This is this Friday's calls. A lot of people stepping in here we've got almost 14,000 contracts, open interest at the 30 mark, and coming up on 25,000 to 32. So it looks like a lot of people might have seen this trend. Now, these numbers were nowhere near this range on Friday. I didn't really get a good look at the option numbers because yesterday was just so horrible. Everything was down. But looking at these numbers, a lot of people are buying in. These are, of course, the December monthlies for calls. So there's always increased open interest on the monthlies. But a lot of these, it looks like these could be people stepping in. They bought when it broke through the 21 mark and they are looking for a run up. Normally these would be, these could be lotto calls, but with how strong of a day AMC had today, especially that early run up, these could be day traders or swing traders just looking to see where we're at. This was a turnaround Tuesday and it lived up to the name. Wednesday, we could see a lot more of the same. Tomorrow we could see a whole bunch more buying pressure step in and people wanting to drive the price higher because at every level they push the share price up. Well, these contracts are just going to be worth more money at the end of the week. So we actually someone had asked in chat about I heard Clay ask about the gamma, and I replied back that right now we don't carry the weight in order for a gamma squeeze to kick in. But with these numbers starting to increase, with all the additional, all the additional contracts we could be seeing on the call side of the house, it is possible that within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we could see ourselves back up to, at least on the options side of the house, we could see, a lot of the volume pick back up and the options chain. And of course, when people step into the options chain, they're going to do what they can to get the prices to go higher. So we could really have a lot of potential to gain some of the grounds back. And end of the week, we closed out pretty good gains today. If I was to kick out some arbitrary numbers, I certainly see a recapture of the 28.30 level by the end of the week. That is certainly within the realm of possibility. Especially if people that are buying these contracts, also look towards buying shares. If we get a lot of pressure, if the day traders kick in tomorrow and start to play their day trader games, we could see a pretty good spike in the share price. And all it takes is another good spike like that early morning run up, and we could have some people coming in from FOMO, just seeing the huge gains that we're getting. And that's why at the beginning I wanted to give a special shout out and thanks to the paper hands, because a lot of it is they created this huge bubble with all the selling that went on, and with the hedge funds, with those additional 5 million shares that got borrowed and shorted, it created a huge bubble. And the deeper that bubble is, the faster it can rise. And that's I'm looking for a whole bunch of buying pressure to step in. So what is everybody else up to? I'm kind of bouncing from screen to screen here. I'm assuming Simon is on his way to the gym to go work out. And let's, because everyone knows I love to look at my verticals. I love my bull put spreads, even when the market is absolutely horrible. When moon, I certainly think the moon is before I collect Social Security. I think that's a pretty safe bet. So I got it. Yeah, you're already working out. This is interesting. Oh, there we go. Just a little bit of lag on my end. Let me check my net. Yeah, network connection looks good. That was a little bit of lag there. So looking at it, I still think it's a little bit early. I want to check the channels and everything on AMC. See if we're gonna catch some good support. But I'm looking 9 days out, which is as a reminder to everyone. Next week, because of Christmas, the stock market is closed on Friday. It is a short trading week. We only have 4 days. So that will be reflected in some of the options prices. But looking at how 21 held up today, we did punch through. We got down to $20.80 today. That, I believe, that was the low of the day. So the 21, potentially knowing that could hold up as a nice hard level of support, especially if we run away from it now. That would be, looking at the 2021 bull put spreads at $26 a contract. That might actually be, if the market holds up, a pretty good place. It's the classic, quartering up. 400 turns into 500. So let's go back over to the chart. And I want to draw me a line. Oh, well, let me zoom out any more in that hand. No. Technical difficulties. Hey, Trapper, how's it going, man? I'm listening and driving. Well, I am happy to have you here, Trapper. So what I want to kind of do here, Oh, it's still waiting for that. Ah, I hate it when that happens. No. Trash can that line. So I don't know if I really want to go off this super low, because that's going to give us a trend line that, yeah, everyone loves to see steep lines, but I think that really was a special occasion to have that major push down we saw. So I don't think I actually want to use that as my trend line. Oh, wrestler driving and listening. Yeah. So I would actually take this would be a more realistic line to go off of. Because it's easy to grab that bottom tick and give yourself like huge upward channels, but I think a softer upward channels actually, a better indication. So using this, I would feel a lot better, especially by the end of the week, if we recapture the channel that I'd built in before this last hard push we had back between the 26-27 range. And of course, in a mathematically perfect world, that intersection, that recapture would be on the 15th, which would be tomorrow, surprisingly enough. Now, of course, I have talked before about putting lines on the screen to support your own thesis. But if I had gone off I'll delete it after I put on, but just to show the difference of why I don't like going off an absolute bottom tick. So if we run off that, as much as I would love to be back by the weekend to be almost up to $32, I don't think that is a realistic representation, and I'm not into the whole confirmation bias to where someone wants to see something so that they can manipulate their own data to fool themselves into thinking that that's what it is, or for just, oh yeah, look at this, yeah, AMC is going to be up to $20,000 a share by this Saturday or by this Friday. So that's my main thinking behind why I did not want that line, because it was an extreme push down and then an extreme run up. I would rather go off the regular market price discovery that we're seeing, seeing how it actually plays out, rather than just taking the most extreme. Well, that's not where it's supposed to be. That is not where I put that line. I guess the line didn't like going from the 1 minute, or from the 5 minute to the 1 minute. So we'll leave it on the 5 minute here. But we don't see, in a regular market day, you don't see, huge spike swings like that all the time. So I think, going off, taking the regular low following the run up, taking that and using that as the base to build a trend line off of, I think that is a better representation and a more realistic goal. Granted, we know it's going to the moon. We know they have to cover their position. We know we're going to see just these huge candles that take up an entire page. They're so tall. We're going to see all of that, but for the regular day to day, I always think to be a little bit more realistic with trend lines. Send out a quick. Hey, DD214, welcome to the chat. What's up, guys? Unable to join chat, just listening. Hey, I appreciate everyone popping in here. Also, people want to hit that like button. That certainly helps the YouTube algorithm. If you know people who might be interested, sharing the information, getting word out on the channel. But yeah, hopefully, one thing I touched on. Can't remember if it was during a midday or if I missed out on the opportunity to go over in the midday. There are two different scenarios for a short squeeze to happen within the next month to month and a half. One of them, of course, is if those shorting the stock are looking to get the tax write-off, because if they take the loss by the end of the year, they can use that as a write-off for next year's taxes. And that, of course, that has been kicked around so much on the internet. That's nothing new. I'm not the first to think about that. But there's a second scenario that I thought of, and it was it's kind of the come from behind. Yeah, this certainly is just about all Mod Squad in here. I know where everybody's at. I just see the blue names pop on the screen. But one thing I was thinking of is the come from behind. If they decided early on in the year, like the first couple weeks, if they covered their positions and took that loss, they would know for the year how far behind they are, and they could kind of the hedge funds and the shorters, they could kind of plan out their year around how much of a loss they took, and they would also know for the next year, they would know potentially what they'd be looking at for write-off for that year. So from a standpoint of looking at the potential of them working on covering their positions around when they plan on taking the deduction on their taxes, it is possible that we could see, some of them might try and cover before the end of the year. If they were smart, they would have covered this week. They would have covered on the push down below 21. That would have been, in my opinion, that would have been one of the best places for them to cover, with how low the share price was. And it just goes to show their greed. They could have got out of their position. Certainly, any of the ones who shorted at a higher price, covering that low, and that's part of their mentality is, the stock's only worth $5. The stock's only worth $10. Okay, well, they had a chance to get out of their position at $21, and who knows, they may not get another chance like this. This could be the lowest price we hit before the MOAS hits. And it is possible. Oh, Simon giving the fist bump to Trapper. So yeah, and just because the hedge funds close their position, yeah, I'm not sure if there is a loss limit. Are you 214? Are you talking about on how much you can write off for capital gains? Because I believe it's actually structured different. Whether you're depending upon if you're an individual or if you're on a business account. I do believe there are two different sets of regulations. Matt Core's live stream went from 70,000 viewers to like 6,000 average on 72 run up. I'd say a lot of shorts were covered though. Working like crazy for the big hedgies. Yeah, I was on. I went over it earlier to during the stream, wrestler. TMI did tweet out updated Ortex numbers, and the shorts actually increased their position by over 5 million shares today. 5 million shares shorted, and it ended up the numbers he posted. It was a direct. He posted a direct shot of the Ortex numbers, and he that Ortex report had it over 101 million shares shorted right now. I meant the limit loss for the hedgy. Well, yeah, if they would have covered at 21, they certainly would have been minimizing their losses. But not all the shorts shorted at the same place at the same value. Now, I'm of the belief that whichever hedge fund blinks first and goes to cover their position, they're actually going to make out better than all of the other hedge funds. Even if, because some of the hedge funds, if they covered right now, there's a possibility that they may actually, make money by closing their position out. But they're not covering, the ones that might be green right now may not be covering their position because they want to make more money. But whoever covers first, depending upon how many millions of shares they cover, if it triggers a domino effect, a cascade among the hedge funds, potentially whichever one gets out first, it could be the difference between, losing $10 million and losing $100 million. We don't know who shorted how much. We don't know, specifically, because they don't have to report their short positions. We don't know, hedge fund A versus hedge fund B. We don't know who has how many short shares. We don't know when they got them. They don't know, we don't know what price they were at when they got them. I'm sure you could go through with a computer and, a computer could go through and read all those numbers, but that would take a whole lot of computing power. And really, it just, in the long run of it, it doesn't matter, who has shorted for how many. It just matters when they cover, how many are they covering, and at what price they cover. And when that first, when we get a hedge fund, with a fairly substantial position covering, and not only do we get, the price going up from that, but when people see the price running and all the FOMO buyers kick in, every hedge fund that covers after that, they're just going to put themselves in a worse and worse position. And does it also come down to one hedge fund covers its position? FOMO kicks in, it runs up, we could see another run up to, up to 72, up to $100. But if the other hedge funds decide, they're not going to cover at that point, if just one of them gets out of the position and the others continue to hold their short position, we could see a run up to 100 and then see it start to pull back and start this all over again. There's nothing that says when the first hedge fund covers that all the other hedge funds have to cover also. So before the MOAS, we could see a whole bunch of little mini MOASs in there, and until the numbers come out, we actually won't know. We won't know how many shares are covered until after the settlement date. I think a majority of the new apes who bought after $10 have sold out already. Well, I'm not sure I would call them apes at that point. They could just be retail investors who got in and they thought they thought it was a great thing, and they realized that they weren't as diamond handed as they thought they were. Oh, I see single letter typing. Is that going to be a Hello Frank? I have a feeling a Hello Frank is coming on there from Simon. He Simon must have just gotten to the gym now, and honestly, because I feel safe saying it here, I think YouTubers like uh, that person are using us for views. Simon, no spamming. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's and it certainly does. Certainly, it is easier to capture more views during market hours, and he's got a huge base. I mean, you look at it, and on average, the couple times I've jumped in, it looks like 2,400 to 8,000 in watching his chat. And as far as I know, he is one of the larger of the streamers. Yeah, but it's not a matter of how many viewers; it's the quality of the viewers and the quality of the content creator. I mean, just look at Claybro's channel. They're yeah, I think sometimes we get up around 300, but we've got the best people in the world are on Claybro's stream, and also and seems like the smaller your community is, the better the viewers are. I mean, there's this one channel out there, Frank something or another, and only got doesn't even have 100 subscribers, but his subscribers are like the best subscribers on all of YouTube. And when that channel starts to grow, and just having more of the best in the world there. For all we know, these YouTubers could have sold already and are playing it off like they're still in. It is possible, because part of the thing is, there are apparently rules and stuff against showing the size of your position, and also that's why sometimes when I start looking at other stocks. Matt is day trading AMC, no doubt. He doesn't need money no more. Hey, wow. This is a really good conversation going on chat. So yeah, I also had the idea of going in on this channel. I had thought about going and with this channel, going through and not doing an exact carbon copy of my investment portfolio, but I think that I would be kind of safe building up like a small, like a learning portfolio on this, because I actually moved all my positions off of Webull except for Sheeb. That's the only one I left on here. But I thought about building up a little portfolio on here, just as kind of a teaching tool on, picking building, how to look at it, and just having it for to show people with smaller accounts. You get the traders who may only have like $200 or $300 a month, and show them how to build a portfolio, how to maintain it, and just kind of have that as a teaching tool. And was going to kind of ask and see what people would think of that. If viewers on the channel would like to see a small portfolio built on here. Hey, Riptide, how's it going, man? But yeah, it would be a small portfolio. It would only be, I would have like a core four stocks on there, or a core four ETFs, and maybe 25 to 30 stocks on there. Matt doesn't need to squeeze. In fact, he is crying for Adam's attention. He is jealous that he's not mentioned. Oh, yeah. See, I can't speak to the motives, or the thinking of other YouTubers. I can speak for myself in that I cannot wait till I get up to 1,000 subscribers, and get up to 4,000 hours of watch content, just so I can get monetized. Because I enjoy doing this. I do this channel for free. I am not monetized. There's no there's no super chatted here because of that. And I think it would be nice someday to actually get up to that point. But for now, I'll keep providing the best information I can for free, and just hanging out with all the peeps, hanging out with the bro family over here. Now, Wrestler, your comment, he expresses that he is not going to tell anyone what they should or should not do because he's possibly swing trading AMC right in front of us. Now, are you talking about swing trading the shares or swing trading options? Because those are two major differences. Because if you're swing trading the shares, you are creating selling pressure on the market. To where if you're doing swing trading and day trading of an options chain, that's a little different, because you affect the options market, but you're not actually moving shares back and forth. As long as you're not, if you're not exercising those contracts, if you're selling covered calls and they raised the debt ceiling to 2.5 trillion. Oh, okay. Debt ceiling's up. Thanks, Riptide. I followed Matt since he had 1,000 subs and saw how he changed to things. Oh, yeah. But see, anyone who, if you look at the way that I play options, especially, selling covered calls, well, if I'm not careful and I get exercised on my covered calls, well, I'm creating selling pressure, and that's part of why I talk so much about knowing you're out, and I always try to close out my covered calls early, because I don't want to have that selling pressure added on. That's why if I do covered calls on AMC, if there's a threat that they might get exercised and my shares get called away. That's why I have a stop loss built in, because I don't want my shares called away. I don't want selling pressure increased. So yeah, I day trade and swing trade, but I use options to do it. That way I'm not actually, I'm not moving shares myself. I don't think Mortal Kombat is honest with us. I'm just going to say Mortal Kombat. We know who we're talking about there. Just my opinion. Read body language well and can see insecurity in him. Oh well, yeah. If you definitely catch that coming from him. But yeah, that's and I try. That's there are times in Claybro stream where people harp on day traders and swing traders. And I, of course, don't take offense to that, because, as I said, what I do with options. Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Well, Simon, I actually did that on Clay Rose stream, and people were talking about him, and I'm like, the only MK we got up in here is Market Combat. So I want to go ahead and change this. I want a nice golden line on there. Frank is going to ban us. This live stream's out. Now, Simon, this channel, of course, did start off as options because it was an area in the community. It was an area in the community that I felt that certainly on listening to people in chat, it was somewhere that the bro community needed some help at. So that was initially this started off as an options channel. A lot of it is going to be centered around options, but I think certainly we can branch into providing technical analysis and just looking at general market stuff now. And of course, we could still have all the options, all the options top going on. And certainly, if anyone had questions about specific option positions or option plays, I'm going to put that 2250. Riptide asking, any thoughts on AMC hitting 20 again? I was thinking about buying more now, but want to wait until after Fed talk. Yeah, if we get back down around if we break below 21 again. In fact, if you don't notice, I just put put a support line because we did have that punch through, but that punch through did not last long. So I am actually looking to see if that 2250 will hold up for us. Because we had the run on, what day was it? On the 13th, yesterday. Where 2250 was kind of holding up as a level of support. Now, it is, I still think we are at risk of getting down, especially with the Fed talk tomorrow, of punching back through, getting back down around the 21 mark. But I would really, hey, Clay Rose video just went up. Somebody get over there and first comment it. I really would like to see if this holds up. If this level holds up and the Fed talk tomorrow does not drive us down, I think that this might be the last time we see prices this low. I think we might actually start to go off this upward channel, Riptide. I am hoping that this will be the push for us to get back into the 30 range. Anyone who quits their job for YouTube, desperate for securing that bag. Well, I'd certainly love to be able to quit my job and make YouTube a full-time career. I'm nowhere near that. It'll be. Yeah, and Riptide, that's just going. I don't know if you were in, if you'd come in the stream yet, but when I put what became this yellow line, I was looking at this huge dip, the huge dip down to 2080, and I was I was looking to put a trend line, but that is not a good reflection of of the regular trading pattern. That's why I went why we have the yellow trend line currently where it's at right now, because I do think that this might be the start of our upward trend. Yes, but YouTube is bread. Your bread and butter. Butter. Yeah, I thought it was butter. If views significantly drop, then so does your paycheck. Yeah. Now I plan to, even after MOAS, I plan to continue doing YouTube, doing just about five more shares. Yeah, every little grab you can do, I certainly, I'd never tell someone, yeah, you should buy right now, but going off my own technical analysis, yeah, I would wait. Me personally, I'd wait and see what happens with the Fed talk tomorrow, and if it doesn't punch down, This the upward trend line is fairly new, but if we can hold that, it's only 1 day older, but if we can hold that 2250 line, just about five more for your 2-year-old. Oh, okay. You hold 4x. Yeah, that's a good position to be in, man. What's killing me right now, Riptide, is the fact that until we figure out exactly where the stock is going, I cannot. I shouldn't say I cannot. I will not play covered calls. The only way I'll start playing covered calls is perhaps if we get a good. I hold. Oh no. If we ended up on a Thursday getting a lot of volatility, but not a lot of price movement, because volatility can drive the price of your contracts up. If we get a lot of volatility, and I've still got a nice buffer to where $2, $3 away from the current price, if I can see 20 cents to a quarter right there, I might jump in on covered calls at that, but those would be covered calls that I'd immediately be dumping first thing the next morning. I would end up to the thing. I hold on to the things I believe in. But yeah, I would do a Thursday rapid turnaround. Close a Thursday, open a Friday. Flip those covered calls real fast, just to try to capture a little bit of cash. But as far as because normally I would enter into covered calls, uh, for the following week, either on that Friday or the Monday of that week. But right now, with how low we are and the potential for it to just start ripping, there's no way I'm going to risk my shares, even a quarter of my position. There's no way I would risk that on a potentially huge run up coming, potentially, the next day. That's just one of those times where I take a step back and I'm like, okay, I don't have to be actively trading. I can, I can turn the screen off and not even stare at, not even look at the screen for an entire day, and just, listening to live streams, get my price updates from there. Yeah, it's and that was, looking at the past couple of weeks with how bad how far down the market was going. A lot of the days I didn't even bother looking at the market unless there were some positions that I was looking at to do some stocks that were doing good away from the rest of the market, and maybe do some bull put spreads there. So we're going to jump over. I want to have a look at Prague here. So for those of you who don't know, I was looking at Prague. Can I get it on the 5-minute? So Prague, I built this up with the current push down. I was looking. Hey, Voy, for your information, or V10, VO1, whatever that. If the bots came in and hit the subscribe button, I wouldn't have a problem with them popping in. No, that's a bot right there. They don't hit the like button. They don't subscribe. They're just they're lousy bots. But yeah, it looks like I built out this dual channel on Prague. Just an upper channel, lower channel, to look at the possibility of doing some either doing some swing trades or starting up a wheel on Prague as far as doing covered calls and cash secured puts. That was something I was going to start looking into, and it just wanted to see if Prague was going to hold these two channels, and it looks like it actually is right now. So with AMC being kind of, as far as options go, being kind of dangerous right now, any options I do, I might move over to Prague for a while, just until AMC figures out what it wants to do. And same thing if you're in GameStop. Right now, GameStop, the options are equally dangerous. Might even be considered more so dangerous just because of how much the shares cost. Currently, I think GameStop was around. Didn't it break below 150? I licked the like button on my way in. Yeah. All right, Simon. You have yourself a good evening. Enjoy your time in the sauna. But yeah, so Prague is looking like it might be in a position to start taking over, the bulk of what I do as far as options go. Hey, no problem, Simon. And I'll catch you tomorrow on Clay Bros. Let's see what's going on with the option chain here. So what I actually want to do. All right, let's have a look at these. Have a look at these bull puts real quick on Prague. These are the 3-day out. Yeah, 3-day out. Not too exciting. Bull puts on. So the problem is on doing any of these spreads on Prague is they just don't have the open interest to really have the liquidity you need in order to get out of position if it goes bad. So for Prague, in my opinion, bull puts are definitely out. Looking at the call side of the house, even looking 9 days out, on covered calls, you're still only looking at. Ouch, yeah, those are $10, potential $50 run up. So on assignment, if you got a good fill on the 9 days out, you're looking at about a $60 swing to the high side. Hey, there we go. Wrestler flexing that wrench. Yeah, because right now those are 9 days out. I don't know. It almost looks like if you play the channel manually on Prague. Love Prague for a squeeze play, but they dropped off the threshold list with an average 3.5. I cut my losses. Oh, okay. Yeah, Prague, I'm in, my average I think is a 267. Let me confirm that real quick. My average on Prague is a 264 actually, so going over on the chart, I wish there was a way to like type in exactly what you're looking for. I would like to go in. Hey, I want to try something here. Alright, so horizontal line, 264. I'm having some fun now. 264. Hey, I can't change the color. Cool, cool, cool. What color should I put here? I'll buy back in. I'm a sucker for it. Yeah, I've actually been in and out of Prague a couple different times, and I have absolutely horrible luck when it comes to calls on Prague. As far as shares, anytime I've gotten shares, I've managed to get good fills coming in and good fills going out. Don't hate me for that, but yeah, I go in, and Prague is one that, as far as shares, because I do not own a substantial enough position to really hurt it in the long run. But so I went ahead and threw my average on the screen. But yeah, I might actually look towards uh, taking a part of my Prague position, the shares of it, and I might do a little bit of back and forth swinging just to increase my position. Because anytime I'm doing anything within a position, I'm doing it to increase the size of that position. Whenever I'm doing covered calls and bull puts on AMC, well, I'm doing that to uh, generate more capital to buy more shares of AMC, so I can do more options, so I can generate more capital. So I just kind of like to go through and get my positions growing themselves, get it to where my portfolio will sustain itself. And certainly on any position you have that does not pay a dividend, do little tricks here and there and pay yourself your own dividend. So yeah, like if Prague moves up in the $3 range, yeah, I might sell off a portion of it, wait for it to come back down, and buy back in. It's really not a matter of where my average is, because my average, I can move that up and down all the time. The thing is, how many shares do I have, and how much is the total value of the position? It really doesn't matter what your average is, because if the overall value of position's higher, overall your P&L is going to look better. So Prague might be my fun little experiment on just swinging it back and forth. I don't usually actively trade like that, but could be fun, could make money, could really grow my position. What do we have for other little fun ones? I'm going off yesterday's live stream. I was talking about doing your homework in order to get paid, and I've got a list here. It's my own personal list. I went through and found a whole bunch of stocks that not only do they have weekly options, but they have no dividends behind them. So they're ones that you can actively be trading and not worried about people, as far as options going, trying to steal your dividends from you. I flipped Prague a few times for small cash. I'll try and get back in on a low. Wrestler, fun ones. Has Fun been doing anything? We'll jump in and have a look at that. Fun has... God. You go so far out on Fun, and that huge spike just makes the whole rest of the chart look flat. Wrestler, do you know the numbers? Is Fun still up for a short squeeze, or what was the play on Fun? Because I never got in on Fun. I heard people talking about it, but it was one that I really wasn't too interested in. Looking at it, just above the $3 mark. Let's take fun. Let's look at calls going 9 days out. Fun was a SPAC play that came with FOMO. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too big on. There are certain things I don't like to get involved in. SPACs and IPOs, I am not a fan of getting in on those because the potential, if you get in and you're super early and it has a huge run up and FOMO, that's great. But if we look at everyone's favorite stock in the entire world, and please don't hate me for bringing this up, everyone's absolute favorite stock that everyone was so absolutely in love with when it IPO'd. And I mean, this is just the greatest stock ever. I mean, just look at that gorgeous, absolutely wonderful put play. Anywhere in the range, when it was still up above 55, to buy puts further out. Hey, let me take care of that phone real fast. I get the same spam call every single day, and unfortunately, that's the master phone unit, so I can't turn the volume down on it. If it was one of the, uh, one of the, just the handset that plugs into the wall for power, I could mute it, but unfortunately, this model does not allow me to mute it, so everyone can silence. But yeah, Hood was just a straight up put play from the beginning. And I'm kicking myself in the Heineken because I was looking at it when it was up in the 55 range, and I'm like, this thing is gonna flip and nosedive, and that's I could have entered in, but I always talk about knowing your stop losses, and when I was looking to get in on that, I had a whole bunch of open positions, and all of those open positions had money tied up set aside for stop losses, and I do not, if I have stop loss money set up, I do not touch that money. That money is to save me from losing a ton more money. So yeah, I could have got in on this wonderful put play, and unfortunately I was not able to, and I'm not sure how much further down it's going to go. It could go lower, but let's seriously, I'm not going to look at calls on this. Let's go puts, and let's pick a date next year. Let's take the January monthlies. Frank, you have 43 subs and how many likes on your vids? Unfaithful. Actually, I think I've got 49 subs. Let me have a look here. Did people leave me? No, I've got 49 subs. Yeah, some of my subs though are just they are people that I know who sub because they know me. Yeah, 49 subs. I'm almost halfway to that first 100. Yeah, see, the option chain for. I don't know if this is just a lag or a glitch with the program, but the options chain for the January monthlies for Hood is not even. Oh, there we go. There we go. Finally updated. So yeah, that is just The price right now to buy puts for January. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen Marine Corps Brett in quite a while. No idea what's going on. It's just there are some viewers on Claybrow's channel who aren't into the whole crypto thing. And yeah, I get it. A lot of us are here for AMC. That's why, I try to. The whole thing starting off was how to play options on AMC, and now I'm expanding. As we get more and more into the channel, I'm looking to add more and more. You know, Now we're looking at Prague. We're looking at other positions, and looking at Prague and other positions, and it's just that there's so much more to the market, and I don't want to alienate one group or another. So yeah, I'll look at other stock positions just to help get the word out on them. I don't know why when I go to the 1 minute this does not go where it's supposed to. Yeah, and Riptide, that's part of it. I try to keep it mainly central around AMC, and part of that is because AMC is the play I'm in, but also because when it comes to GameStop, I don't know that much. I haven't followed GameStop. I got into the whole meme stock deal with AMC, and simply because when you compare the prices of the two, as I stated before, I do more. I look more towards doing options as far as covered calls to generate additional capital and revenue for my portfolio. And it was just easier to get 100 shares of AMC than it was to get 100 shares of GME, and that's just the finance behind it. On Earth. But yeah, anyone have any specific stocks they want to look at? We can go over some technical analysis. If anyone had any specific options plays that they were considering. And of course, I'm still kicking around the idea of building a small portfolio, kind of as not really a training tool, but just kind of something we can something I can put money into just to track it on a smaller account type scale. Like I said, for the people who only have like $200 or $300 a month that they can put into how do I get options access on TD Ameritrade? I have not used TD Ameritrade as a broker. I do not have a TD Ameritrade account. I probably never will have a TD Ameritrade account because my sister's, basically my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, his family, they've had nothing but trouble with TD Ameritrade. It says I don't have options trading privileges. Yeah, I know. In my Riptide saying you have to sign a document with them. It might might be a document you have to sign. Might be something online because I know every brokerage I use, before I can do options, I have to have to go through and fill out. They have a questionnaire on it. And a lot of them, depending upon how you answer, they might only allow you to do certain types of options. Because of how you answer them, depending upon how tolerant you are of risk, they might close off certain multi-leg options, like doing your iron condors, your regular condors, your butterflies, your iron butterflies. They might close those off on you if your risk tolerances aren't high enough, because that's when you get into a little bit higher risk. A little bit higher risk with multiple legs on it. And like I did a shootout during Claybro stream, I did. Somebody had asked about getting margin called, and dealing with options. An easy way to get yourself margin called is, say if you opened up a bull put spread or something like that, and the stock was going really good in your favor, and you close out part of your option, part of the spread in order to capture profit. If the stock turns around and runs back, and if you're in risk and your collateral no longer meets their requirements for the risk of your account, you can get margin called that way. So a lot of times a brokerage will put up kind of like a roadblock. They'll put up, look at how much risk you can tolerate, and if you can't tolerate, if it looks like you can't tolerate that risk, they'll kind of limit on what you can do for options, just to help keep you from getting yourself in trouble. Open option trading tab, click on accept. They just want to make sure you know what you're doing before they let you do it. Yeah, that's a lot of things behind the questionnaires on there. I was I was fairly new to options, as far as learning, and on one of the other brokerages I was doing the basics, and then the next time I filled out the survey on that brokerage, you're like, oh yeah, you're open to pretty much any kind of option contract you want to do. You can build your own. If you look here on, I don't know if you all use Webull or not, but if you go into your options, they have them already built for you. So like if you want to do the Iron Condor, they already have your channel set up for you. Oh sweet, time to make some. Oh, I guess he found that button. But they already have them built out for you. Well, there are times I like to get a little bit more exotic with mine, or like if you're doing the Condor. Well, there's an options strategy called the Broken Wing Iron Condor, which you trade just some of your strike prices, create different gaps in what word am I looking for? In the sequence of your strike prices. A good example would be, say you wanted to use this 20. Well, if you're doing a broken wing, sometimes you do 20, 21, 22, 24. You would actually skip the 23, and by skipping one leg of it, it does increase your collateral you would have to put up if you were selling it. Instead of putting up $100 collateral, you would have to put up $200. But it also increases your range as far as your profit. So it all depends on how you build them out, and it's like if you did a broken wing on the upside, that'd be a bearish broken wing, and if you did it to the low side to where it'd go 23, 22, 21, 19, that would actually be bullish, because you'd be generating more upside potential on it. Or you'd be creating a profit upward channel in case it ran. So on the bullish side, that would be if you were going to be playing a broken wing iron Condor, that you'd be playing on something like AMC where it has the potential to start running on you. So do we just have Wrestler and Riptide in here then? I'm looking and it has not updated. Now don't get yourself in trouble, Wrestler. Yeah, I haven't even seen what TD Ameritrade's, what their platform looks like. I imagine for the most part they're all kind of the same. Checking something here real fast. Here to support. Oh yeah, that's man. Every little bit of support this channel gets is just absolutely wonderful. I'll tell you what, though, it is Think or Swim on TD Ameritrade is nice. Yeah, the only thing I know about TD Ameritrade is just from my brother-in-law and how much trouble they had, and with how many other brokerages are out there. You know, all it takes is a little bit of word of mouth on someone having a bad experience, and especially everyone has it to where you have a sign up bonus. You sign up for a brokerage and you like get a free stock or something like that. And sometimes if you only need so many brokerages and you're not looking to just collect brokerage accounts and collect one stock from all of them. First of all, it's gonna be a total pain when you go to do your taxes if you have to have if you've got a 1099 from every single brokerage you have. That can be a lot of if you have any positions on there, that could be a lot of work come tax season. But I've got my I've got Webull, which in my opinion, for what I've seen, they've got the best research and tracking tools. I absolutely love using Webull for that. I trade on another brokerage, and then I've got a third brokerage, which is my backup in case I ever have to. You never know what's going to happen with any of these companies. Oh, TDM for 30 years now. Okay, so you're a long-term investor then. Okay. You also have Webull. Yeah, I mean, Webull, I absolutely love their charting. I love the at a glance on their options. I do, I wouldn't, I shouldn't say I wouldn't do options, but as long as I've got other places I can do options, I'll do it on the other ones, because Webull does not allow you to customize, play with, and tweak how you structure your options. And for me, that's kind of a deal breaker as far as doing options. If it was something where I was just going to do covered calls and bull puts, cover call, bull put, and that was all I was going to do, yeah, I could do it on Webull. But I like to get kind of exotic with how I build some of them. I do the fallen Christmas tree, broken wings. There are no broken wings here, and everything the price ranges and gaps are already pre-built for you. I don't know if there's any way to get it to where you can build your own custom options your own custom contracts, and without that, there's just no point in me doing my option trading here. Oh, 20 years? Yeah, $30 a trade. See, when I started trading, I started building a full portfolio, and I was investing into every position I had every 2 weeks. So, there's no way I could do $30. That's a key thing. Anything that, cost per trade, when you're looking at potentially doing, every 2 weeks doing 30 to 40 trades, there's absolutely no way I would pay for anything that had a fee per trade on it. And that's why you get some people doing the rant about payment for order flow. And yeah, there are other mechanisms that you can have, and you can pay for Thinkorswim. That you pay a monthly fee for that, right, Riptide? So I know every platform has their premium service that it's like $5 a month or $10 a month, and you get additional benefits. You can you can choose the routing you want your orders to take. That way you can route your orders to a lit exchange rather than going through dark pools and whatnot. And that's why I don't mind payment for flow. Yeah, I don't mind payment for order flow either. I trade enough, and I use limits. A lot of times when I'm buying or selling, I use a limit order just to lock my price in. So really, if you're doing market orders, yeah, payment for order flow is going to rake you over the coals. But if you're doing limit orders on all your buying and selling of shares, you really don't have too much to worry about because you're already naming your price. So you know what you're going to spend on it. So yeah, if your market maker wants to go out, you set your price. Okay, buy it at $20 a share. You already agree that you want it at $20 a share. So yeah, if they get it filled for $19.98 a share, and they want to skim that 2 cents off, well, I'm still paying the price that that I agreed to pay for the shares. Would it be nice if I got that $19.98 fill? Yeah, it would be nice, but there has to be a model somehow for the brokerage to make money. And so yeah, even on limit orders, if they want to skim those couple cents off to support to support their own business, they're in business to make money. Yeah, and that's why there are certain other channels, certain other YouTubers who will talk about just how absolutely evil payment for order flow is. Well, yeah, if you're just doing market orders, if you're saying buy $50 of this stock now, well, yeah, you should expect to get raked over the coals because you're not actively trying to manage. To where if you say, yeah, buy me 2 shares of this at $25 a share. Well, at that point, you're getting the fill you wanted. I could buy 1 share of AMC at 24 and not pay 54. Yeah, that's yeah, and just the getting rid of all those per trade fees. Back in the day, that would have kept retail investors from getting in the market just because of how outrageous the fees were. And not only that, but back in the day, having to call a broker, and depending upon what time you called and how many people they had calling them, okay, they'll get your order in, but it could be 2 days from now. Well, what's going to happen with the price 2 days from now? Do they lock your price in at that time? But now with everything being computerized and all the access, a regular person with a checking account can go out and start trading on the market. That's absolutely wonderful. And all it would take, they could look at it and be like, oh, okay, what's this payment for order flow thing? Oh, okay. Well, gee, everyone says that, I should do limit prices. Limit prices are what save you from getting a fill you don't agree with. Yeah, I'm not a fan of market orders. I do like limit orders. Oh my goodness, it's almost quarter till 7 already. This has been a nice long stream here. Hanging out with the bro fam. What were we looking at? Oh yeah, looking at AMC bull puts. These are the monthly bull puts. Oh, it's just us two on here? Okay, mine's still showing two people. I don't know how much it's lagging, but mine's showing two people in chat right now. Thoughts on Ford? I don't know if I told you this before. Ford is actually the first stock I ever purchased. That was my entry into the stock market was with Ford, and it was a $30 purchase at Disney HSY. I'm not familiar with HSY. Let's have a quick look at Ford. Ford on the 30-minute. Yeah, it's my average. I don't like talking actual share sizes. I'm of the belief that telling people your average is just good enough. My average on Ford is 1248. I do not have Disney. I know I was looking at Disney. I don't remember why, but I was looking at it recently. Oh, Hershey, a chocolate company. Okay. Disney looks like November, huge gap down on the 11th, continuing to push downward. Um, Looking at Disney, Disney's a tricky one because not only do they have Disney Plus, their streaming service, they have the merchandise market, but nice. How about Ford at 12 as well? Yeah, yeah. Ford when they were down low, I only wish I had picked up more. I would have loved to have. Would have certainly been worth an extra couple grand. Riptide as TD longer than you've been alive. You're under 20 wrestler. I didn't realize you were that young. Disney, we are not sure what's going on with the Unicorn Victorian period, and if their theme parks have to if their theme parks end up having lower attendance in regards to the Unicorn Victorian period, that could hurt them quite a bit. I don't think that they'll see a full drop off. My dad bought 42. Oh, I would have loved $42. I don't think there'll be a full drop off because they have their because of their streaming service. And I had mentioned this before on Playboy Stream. People were talking about if Spider-Man did an early viewing, like some of the other movies, they've had the early viewings generating huge amounts of revenue. The problem is AMC is in a contract with Disney that they secured the rights for so long of a period in theaters before the release to Disney Plus streaming. And they cannot violate that contract by having early screenings of it. So I don't think any of the Disney, Marvel, anything from anything owned by Disney, most likely will not have early screenings unless it's set up ahead of time with Disney. And Disney's live streaming contract, or Disney's live streaming schedule is reflected in that early screening. So that's a lot of people are like, man, Spider-Man should have an early viewing. Well, no, they have to stick by the schedule because has their Disney Plus streaming set up around that schedule. So that was going back to that whole conversation that was on. And let's look at Hershey. That's what was that ticker? HSY? Yeah, HSY. Whoa! Hershey's looking real nice right there. There is one thing I want to check on Hershey real fast. Give me a second here. So, yeah, $187 a share. They almost got up to 190. Going in. You're long on Hershey. Yeah, looking at it also, I'm not sure if Hershey is a dividend aristocrat. I would have to do a little bit of research on that. But looking back as far as 2013, it looks like their dividend growth has been, they have pretty steady growth on their dividend. And they do pay out, it does look like it's a quarterly dividend. Currently, they're paying 90 cents a share quarterly, so that's the equivalent of 30 cents a month. Yeah, that is a pretty good stock, certainly depending upon how long you've held it and where you got in. I want to check on the daily. Yeah, of course they had the regular, the original Victorian period dip. Recovered nicely, had a little bit of a pullback, and other than that, they've had nice upward movement. Yeah, from the very bottom of the first Victorian dip, just a little bit below $110, and moving up. That's an $80 increase over the last 2 years in share price. God, that would have been phenomenal to get in at that point. You bought last March, so March of this year. So you bought during the 143 dip. Yeah, that's nice. That's a $50 increase per share. Next dividend on them won't be until February monthly. I would kind of have a peek here at this. That's one thing, Riptide. You can't have me look at a stock without me looking to. I always want to jump into the option chain and have a little bit of a look. So we're going to look at the February monthly because that's when their next dividend is due. March was buying season. Yeah, that's anytime you get a fairly large pullback in the market as a whole, it's open season on buying shares. That's just or if you're really aggressive with your options. So the spreads are $500 collateral per spread. Hey, Claire Bot, how's it going? Got another bot. Hey, I like it when the bots pop in here. It gives me additional viewers. If only they'd start liking my videos and commenting on them, and after live stream's over and it posts the video to YouTube. Yeah, so not a fan of the verticals. They take $500 collateral to open into those positions. There you go, Riptide. you should be good for that now. So yeah, the single calls upper end. So those have actually lost a little bit of value. Boom! There went the riptide. Yeah, Hershey, just absolutely wonderful looking stock. Let's just a month of December. Let's go back. Yeah, I'm scrolling back through the chat right now, Riptide. Okay, excluding the bots, I can say that not everyone in chat has a blue wrench. I have not given a blue wrench to Pugnacious yet. I'm not even sure how many non-wrench people have been in here, but yeah. So it looked like Hershey had a little bit of a pullback today. Long term, I like them. Buy a little more every October for Halloween. Yeah, that's part of the market for a lot of things really is seasonal. And I don't know if you were in here for it before, but there was one that I was looking at. They had a huge gap down. And I was looking at them, and as I was looking at them, a trapper was in chat, and he's like, "Oh, you looking at the gap down?" Because he saw the exact same thing I did. If you look at Peloton here on going back to this is into November, and usually, I looked at a little bit of the history on Peloton, and they always do better coming out of Thanksgiving going into Christmas. So I was kind of keeping an eye on them to see if they had some buying pressure, or if they had buyers stepping in after that huge gap down. Because I was actually looking to get into get some Peloton, whether it be calls or just getting some options, hold on to and wait for the Christmas run up. And they are way out of trend right now. So yeah, I look at certain things during certain seasons. Classic example would be as spring is starting to wrap up. Perfect stock to look at would be Harley Davidson. Especially up north. When the winter's ending and people are getting new bikes and stuff. That's one of those seasonal ones. And HOG. And Harley had a huge gap up. Now I'm wondering if this huge spike that Harley Davidson had is in can be owed to the announcement of there's a SPAC that's going to be coming out for Harley Davidson electric motorcycle division. Now the way I understand it is there's going to be a new company formed that Harley Davidson can be the parent company of, or so. I haven't researched it too much. I just heard about it, and I think that's just where this huge gap up came from. Was on the announcement of Harley Davidson, having that additional electric motorcycle division. Oh, Black Rifle Coffee. My next Black Rifle Coffee merger soon to have new ticker. Well, let's go ahead and have a look at that. SBEA. Wait. Silver box engage. Is this the correct one? Holy. Not much history on here. Not much history, but looks like a whole ton of bag holders, though. Well, okay, yeah. If it's going to be a SPAC merger, it's going to sit at 10. Uh, that's just because a lot of SPACs have their pricing already built in. They'll run at 10 like forever, and that's just kind of I don't understand the plumbing or the reasoning why, but a lot of your SPAC plays will just sit around the $10 mark, and that's all they do. Yeah, for some reason they. Okay, well that was only up at 1575, so it looks when you see it like that, it looks absolutely dramatic. But to realize that we're only talking about a $6 difference for the most part. Bought after the hype at 10. Yeah, I've seen the commercials for Black Rifle Coffee. I've heard of them before. I didn't know that there was a specific. I never viewed them from an investing point of view. Yeah, what are some other ones? Let's see. Yeah, so much red in the market today. Some of my financial and real estate ones were doing better. There's a nice little block right there. I bet every single one of those. Do any of these have dividends? Oh yeah, no. Goldfield has dividends. Bristol Myers and okay, yeah. Only one of my non-dividends. That's So yeah, when I build eye on them, but not heavy into it yet. Yeah, that's some positions you just have to slowly ease yourself into. Uh, Yep, Riptide is blue. Wrestler, you weren't here, and a bot came into chat, and I did not have a mod here to take care of them. So yeah, I had to kick Riptide a blue wrench. He had to take care of the bot for me. Yeah, one of the. This is actually one of my newer stocks, which it's kind of following the trend of the market right now. So I'm not expecting too much from it. So this is really a longer term play for me. I by now you all yeah. So yeah, this Palantir technology. The whole reason I got into them is, of course, our government has a fairly decent defense budget, and it is looking like Palantir may actually end up getting a lot of the government cybersecurity contracts on large scale, like for government server farms and stuff like that. So yeah, this really is Palantir's. It's one of my newer plays, but it is a fairly long outlooking play just on the potential of getting government contracts. And I know there are some politicians who have started investing pretty good money into Palantir. So it's like, okay, yeah, if it's good enough for government officials, insider trading, it's good enough for me. So So I'm slowly building up a little bit of a position, a little bit of a position in the stock. Of course, it's not an endorsement of this stock. I don't know for sure what's going to happen with it, but it just seems like if there's talk of defense contracts and cybersecurity going on, yeah, I might want to get in on some of that money. Oh, okay. We officially have a chat now. I didn't even realize that Wrestler was in the chat earlier, and we did not get eggplant parmesan. But yeah, it's just looking at how bad the market's been. And it's a lot of people. There's so many people like, oh, manipulation, shorting, all this and that. It's like, well, no, the whole market's pulling back. Don't get it all in a bunch. The market, it's not just AMC and GME that have been falling. The entire market has just been bleeding for so long. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go through and well, a lot of times they with how low, especially on AMC, the cost to borrow ain't that bad. I think it's cost to borrow is under 3% right now. So they're not even having a naked short. They're just going out and borrowing the shares and paying the cost to borrow, and they're just doing regular shorts on the stock. They don't have to go not naked shorts, not synthetic or anything like that. It's just there are people out there willing to lend their shares out, and until the cost to borrow gets high enough they're to where basically they're going negative against the cost to borrow, they're going to keep doing it. And as long as there are shares that keep coming available for them to borrow, they'll borrow them. If they use them, and they're gone until they can come back and borrow them again, or they put them back in the pot. And we just got to wait for that utilization to go up. And that's a lot of what we're waiting on right now, is just that the shares available to borrow to dry up, and for them to short it enough to where the cost to borrow goes up. That's that's one of the main things that's going to trigger it. And when it no longer is economical for them to short the position, or to keep the short open. Let's not get on the daily chart. Sweet, so looks like they're catching some support here. Yeah, that 810 is certainly holding up nicely. Do y'all realize we are coming up on 2 hours in the stream? Just sitting here hanging out with my buddies, hanging out with the bro fam. Yeah, so hopefully Clay gets his new desktop put together and gets that up and running. The one day talking with him, and just on the live stream when I'm on vacation, and he's talking that with everything open, and I'm opening other stuff in the background, researching stuff on my computer while the live stream's going on, and when I had the music going those that one day, and I look at my CPU usage, and I'm only using like 5% of my CPU, and I'm talking with Claybro, and he's like, yeah, I'm at 60%, 75, 80, 50, 80. Looking forward to him having, getting that new computer up and running. New chair 2, heard that crack today. Oh, Grandpa Barney, pretty much, there was a desk fund, a chair fund, a fund for a new mouse. I think there might be somebody needs to start, because I heard something, I wasn't following real well, but was talking about that his desk may be upstairs, so he might have a new background. So we should probably start getting on him in the chat about getting a shiplap fund in order for him to put, build a new wall or a blue screen fund that we can change up his background. Oh, he broke his chair. Yeah, I wasn't. I was in the morning stream. I only caught about 5 minutes of it. It was just a crazy busy day at work this morning, and then I spent almost 2 hours on the phone while I was at work, and then on lunch on phone with the IRS. So I did not catch anything in the morning stream really. But we're hitting that 2 hour mark on the stream, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the evening. I of course want to thank you all for coming by and hanging out, spending some time supporting the channel, and of course I will see y'all tomorrow, or not see y'all, but I'll definitely look forward to chatting with everybody in the live stream for Claybro, and hopefully tomorrow's workday goes a little bit better and we get a midday stream while the market's open. Hey, Danelle, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we're just wrapping the live stream up, Danelle. So I will see all of y'all tomorrow, and like I said, hopefully tomorrow we'll get a midday stream in. I'd certainly like to get one in while while the market's open, and while there's a potential for any kind of options contracts or options questions. And I do notice the midday coming over from Claybro stream, I do notice a few more people tend to be in here when the market's open. So I certainly want to try and get more streaming done during market hours. But I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and I shall talk to y'all tomorrow, and thank you for stopping by and spending a bit of time here.